Greeting, brothers and sisters, friends and family all over the world. Today I come to you to speak about finance. The reason why I chose this topic, I have a master's degree in marital and pre-marriage counseling. However, I have been talking to a bunch of people, so many of them going through a divorce as I'm speaking to you right now because of finance. Finance become one of the major situation in a household. Let's break it down a little bit about finance. So many times people meet someone on the street and they think this is the person that they're going to spend the rest of their life with. However, there was no discussion about finance. Today, I encourage any young person who's dating, who's planning on getting married, before you put one knee on the floor saying I do to the next one, it's best you discuss about the finance. It's always wise when somebody knows what they are getting in, what he or she is getting into. Because if you don't know what you're getting into, down the line, you can have an excuse saying, well, I didn't know you had all these baggages. But when the person display all his troubles, all his baggages, all his dirty laundries in front of you, later on you cannot say you didn't know. For instance, today we have a big one, loans. School loans is a big one. I have problem with my loans, and perhaps 50 or 70% of the population have school loan as well. Sometimes we have a job after we finish school, but we still cannot keep up with our loans because it's a chunk of our bills. So when you meet the person, it's best you sit down and ask the person, either female or male, whichever side, ask him, how much loan do you have in school? You need to know these things. The next one we're going to hit on, credit cards. Today, you can say the majority of the population, we have problem with credit cards. Sometimes we end up buying things we don't even need because we have the cards. You can call the debit card, the credit card or the debit card, whichever cards you have. It's a lifesaver because many times you go to the store or you go to a restaurant or wherever you go, you don't have the liquid on hand to spend. So the credit, it become your friend where you can use it. But sometimes we forget how much money we are making and we end up overcharge our credit. So now the bank or whatever the entity is, they freeze the credit. You can only make payment, but you cannot use the card. So you need to know, the first one I said, the school loan. Second one, we say credit cards. You need to know how much debt the person has in credit cards. Loan, school loan, credit card. Next one, the third one, store cards. So many of us, we have so many store cards, we can't even keep up with them. Let me break down for you a few stores that I know. Some people have Amazon, they have, they have either TJ Maxx, or I'm talking about ordinary people who cannot buy luxury stuff. So you have TJ Maxx, you have Amazon stuff, you end up have Walmart, just to name a few. So now you have all this credit on top of your school loans, on top of your credit cards, and you have all these stores loans. So now you have these bills, you need to put them on the table and tell the person you are dating, this is what I have. And next one we can hit on, it's a car loan. The person bought a car and then you still have a loan to pay because you've ended up financing the car. So now you have school loan, you have credit card, you have store cards, and then you have loan for the car. So this is already 4 different types of bills you have. And now you have an apartment where you live or you have your own house. So now you also have a mortgage on it. So this is already 5 different types of bills you are paying. Another thing you can say, car insurance. You're driving a car, of course you gotta have an insurance, otherwise sooner or later the law gonna catch up with you, they're gonna lock you up. Because you cannot drive a car without an insurance. It's a must have in America. And I'm pretty sure it's all over the world. So no, you have all these bills without the stuff you're going to have to supply for your need, basic necessity, the electric bill, the cable bills, all these things. So now you say, this is what I have. You telling him or her, this is what you have. Let's listen to the other side of what he or she has as well. And don't be afraid of display all the dirtiness, all the baggages that you have. Perhaps you may have loans between school loan, credit card, store cards, car loan, and then you also have your apartment big bills, and you also have the car insurance. Some people have more than one car, so you have all these things. So you put them on the table. Some people may end up with between $60,000 to up to $100,000 of bills that they have to repay. So now you're telling the person what you have, the individual as well telling you what they have. So now you know. Both of you have a job. However, the job you both have may not cover all these bills. The two of you are going to combine together. So now imagine you have bills every month for up to $5,000 without food, basic necessity. If you have a mortgage, your water bills, your electricity, the gas you're going to supply for your car to drive to work, the food you're going to be consumed every single day. So these things are not even included. So now you have all these bills plus the other side bills. So now what do? You have to start target which bill we're going to target the most and first. I would suggest that the credit cards from the store cards, they gotta go. They gotta go. And once you repay those little cards, the best thing to do is shred them and then just cancel the plan you have with that store or whatever the company you have. And then the credit card, if you have a major, like, for instance, just a few, Bank of America, Webster, or whatever you have. So then when you have the least amount, try to pay that first. So now you know what he has, what you have, he knows as well. So now what do? You accept the other party with all his bills. Because we said finance is a big problem because so many divorce all over the world, especially in America. Now you're telling him this is what you have, he's telling you this is what he has. You accept them before you say, I said again, before you say, I do. So now you come to an agreement, okay, this is what we're going to start doing. We're going to start saving, or we are planning on getting married within 6 months from now, or within 12 months from now. So you have a bunch of friends from school, people you know, either from the church or the organization that you're involved with, and then so does his other side. He has his own family. You both have friends all over the place. So now you're planning, remember, once you have all these bills to repay, I can say you are in a hole. Potholes, or something where you're inside a hole. You see what you can do, but something pressing on you, you cannot get out of it. So it's the same thing when you have all these bills, you are in a hole. So now you want to have a big, lavish, wedding. But think about once you get married, these bills still waiting on you for you to repay. So now you're going to have to choose, am I going to have a big wedding or am I going to have a small wedding? Small wedding we can consider between 50 to 100 people. Because you have family, he has family, both sides have their own family, and then you also have friends, same thing on the other side. So you have to invite your friend, he invite his friend over so we can have a wedding. Another thing we can also hit on, there's a such thing, backyard wedding. So his family perhaps have a big house. It could be out of state where they have a backyard. Or your family has a backyard. You can bring the priest or the pastor to celebrate your wedding on your backyard. So it's feasible, you can do that as well. So that saves you big time money. And another thing you can also do, you can do catering. Catering costs you money, but if you do it at your own place, it's something that people do, even rich people do backyard weddings today. So you got everything set up, the display, and you can have the wedding there. And then you serve the meals and everything, everything goes well. So now you have this. Another thing we're going to hit on, perhaps one of you come from a family that has a little bit more than the other side. And you never used to use anything that cheap. So now you are dating, you are planning on getting married, and now you have to start thinking or talking about, am I going to live the same lifestyle that I used to live? Or am I going to compromise where we're going to have to come together? So let me put a cap on it for you. Once you make up your decision, this is what you two going to do. You are engaged right now. Once you engage, according to the Bible, it's considered like, okay, you're married. But there's only one thing you cannot do, sleeping together, because you not officially have your license. I'm talking for people, children of God. You're not going on a rampage sleeping together, but you can go places. You can also make decisions together. So now you're going to have to put a cap on. If you're going to buy a pair of jeans, if it's going to cost $30, $25 to $30, I don't need to know. If you're going to buy a pair of jeans or a blouse for $25 to $30, he doesn't need to know. So now you put a cap on it. But if this is something that's going to cost, for some people are going to say, oh, this is my money, I work hard for it. No, once the two of you come together, there's no such thing as this is your money, this is his money, but this is your money, you're going to have to spend it wisely. So, okay, so you said, okay, $25 to $30, any of you can go ahead and buy whatever you want for that penny. It's not going to affect the situation as much, so you go ahead. But anything that's over that amount of money, you need to sit down and discuss it. Am I okay until now? So you need to just sit down and discuss it. This is what's going to, or is it time at this moment to buy this blouse or a pair of jeans? So many times we have so much in the closet, but we overlook because we have the store cards, the credit cards, we think they're going to pay themselves. So we go on a rampage and keep buying stuff unnecessary. So now you said this is what you're going to do, this is what he's going to do. You come to an agreement, officially you have a contract. These things always best to write them down, so down the line the person don't come and say, oh, I didn't know you have this. Yet you know. So now you're going to have a wedding, this is what you're going to do. You start saving for it. Finance, we said it's one of the major ones. Today, in 2024, there was a study conducted. 41% people in America ended up divorced. The age range is 22 to 25. When you're 20 to 22 or 25 years old, it's always like a dangerous situation when you get married between 20 to 22 years old. The majority age people can get married, the minimum would be 25. It's okay if this is what you choose to do. However, I got married when I was young, but by the grace of God, I'm still in the relationship because I have been praying. It hasn't been easy, but I have been fighting for this, and I'm planning on staying on it for the rest of my life. So I fight for what I have. So now, some people, because you're only 20 or 22, this is a time that you're supposed to be hanging out, having fun with your friends, and now you're in a relationship. The person you have to give account where you're going, what's going on. So it becomes a problem. So it's always best you wait at a certain age, you finish your school or whatever, you have something where you can make a little bit of money. So we said, you discuss your credit card to each other, your bank cards, also how much money you have. He needs to know, she needs to know, because how are you going to get married when you don't even have anything in the bank? How are you going to get married if you don't have a job? You need to have a job, especially back then, in my mother's age. A man in the island wouldn't get married until he has his own apartment or his own house. And the people working the farm, they used to have their own field, they had their own farm. But today, you find a bunch of people, they get married just for the name of it. But yet they don't even know what they're getting into. He cannot even rent an apartment, but you're going to take him as a husband. Man, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit harsh on you, but that's the reality. You cannot marry a guy who don't even have a job. There's something going on today. You ask a guy, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm doing everything. No, you're not doing everything. You need to do one thing. But yet you can do all the little stuff come with it. Just like if I'm cooking a meal, I know exactly if I'm going to do chicken or beef. That's my main meat. But then if I'm going to add a little bit of other stuff, this is the extra stuff. So if you have a job, you work at McDonald's, say, okay, I work at McDonald's. So she knows or he knows this is what you do. But don't come in saying to this young female, oh, I do everything. No, you don't do everything. Anytime, ladies, you hear men saying, I do everything, I think it's time for you to start running. Because if you don't run down the line, the money going to start coming. You don't even know where the money comes from. So you need to know what exactly he's doing. And you need to know, the men also need to know, I'm on your side now, okay, guys? The men also need to know what kind of job you do and how much money you are making. So before you say, I do, you end up in the relationship, you get married, where the two of you become one, you need to know all these things. Why? Because once you get to the house, certain things are going to be hard to speak on. And even when you talk about it, now the person's so comfortable in the relationship, they don't even want to hear it. Talk to me, because I have been married for so long and I've been there. So I know what it is. So I'm telling you, it's best to discuss your finance, what's going on. Don't be afraid to show your dirty baggages, your stinking baggages. Just put them on the table. Talk about them, and then now you can decide, is it for me or not? Now you accept each other, you know what's going on each side, so you can take on, this is what you want. I hope today this topic can help young people before you decide. Remember, I have a license for marriage and premarital counseling. So if you need to reach out to me, you can check on my YouTube channel. You will find the link how to contact me, my cell phone, my number, my email address, and all these information are there for you. But I'm encourage you not to jump just because you're in love to get married without knowing what you're getting yourself into. Because there's a lot of lazy people out there, either both sides. I'm not shooting on you guys. Don't think this is only you. There's female, they have so many licensing and everything, but once they get married, they become lazy. All they want to do, hair done every single week, and then fingernails done, feet done, and everything. There's nothing wrong with that. But yet, you got to remember again, let me hit you again, you are on a hold. You need to repay these bills. You went to school, now you have a job. There were people who sit down and give you the education that nobody can take away from you. So now don't say, well, I'm not going to repay my loan. No, be a good steward in this world. Be a good citizen to even your own self in the society. Repay your bills and you'll be fine. So please, talk to each other, discuss your finance before you say, I do. God bless you. Until then, peace.